Workers are gripping tightly to their jobs. But is that really the smartest move? Right now, employees everywhere are holding on to their jobs more tightly than ever, almost as if job security is a lifeline in a storm. But here's where the real debate starts. Are you clinging to your position in a way that helps or hurts your career? The answer isn't as straightforward as you might think, and misjudging this can have real consequences for your future. Why are so many people reluctant to leave their jobs? There's a noticeable trend. Fewer workers are voluntarily quitting. According to recent statistics, the so-called quit rate, which tracks how many people choose to leave their jobs, has dipped to 2% and has stayed there for several months. This marks the lowest level of job switching we've seen since 2016. In fact, over half, 52%, of those who started new positions in the last 2 years have only made one job change, a number that's actually up from 43% just a quarter ago. So what's driving this widespread hesitation to jump ship? A big part of it is necessity. The job market has cooled off. Job openings have shrunk, and companies just aren't hiring at the pace they were even a couple of years ago. Nicole Bauchard, a labor economist at ZipRecruiter, points out that for many workers, uncertainty about the economy is prompting them to stick with what they know rather than risk job hunting in a tougher environment. But here's an interesting twist. It's not just workers holding on. Employers are also reluctant to let people go. After the Great Resignation of 2021 and 2022, when waves of employees left their jobs for new opportunities, companies started to realize how tough it was to replace staff. Many are now determined not to be understaffed again, especially with ongoing concerns about the economy and unpredictable trade policies. As a result, even if business growth has slowed, employers are often choosing to retain their current workforce. Is playing it safe really safer? The risk of staying put? People may think staying with a familiar company is the safest bet, especially in uncertain times. But here's the part most people overlook. Being stagnant in your role can actually put your job at risk rather than safeguard it. Mandy Woodruff-Santos, a career coach, says simply hugging your job without seeking opportunities for growth can be a costly mistake. Complacency is often a red flag for employers, especially when they're deciding whom to keep during layoffs. Alan Guarino, vice chairman of CEO and board services at Korn Ferry, explains that managers use both hard data like your attendance or the quality of your work and softer, more subjective impressions to assess employees. If you're not standing out or showing initiative, you may be seen as dispensable. And here's the controversial part. In a job market where employees have less bargaining power, you may actually need to work harder to shine. Guarino points out that with hiring slowing down, employers expect more from the people they have, since they know their workers have fewer outside options. This could mean you'll be asked to take on additional responsibilities or demonstrate your willingness to adapt and grow. So what should you actually do? For example, if you make an effort to maintain relationships with clients, even those who aren't currently bringing in business, you put yourself in a much stronger position when the economy picks up again. How to hug your job without hurting your career? Career experts like Woodruff-Santos recommend what she calls pivoting in place. Instead of getting stuck in your current position, look for chances to learn new skills or take on greater responsibility right where you are. Maybe you can ask for a promotion, volunteer for a project you've never tackled before, or shadow a coworker in a different department to broaden your experience. Another overlooked strategy? Building better relationships within and outside your company. Guarino suggests that while you may not be job hunting right now, this is the perfect time to grow your network of mentors, colleagues, and industry contacts. When the job market eventually improves, and it will, possibly when the Federal Reserve lowers interest rates and firms start hiring again, Those who have strong professional networks will be the first to get the calls about new opportunities. Will another great resignation happen? The case for staying proactive. Guarino boldly predicts that we could see another period of mass job switching in the future. Those workers who have spent this time building up their connections and skills will be best positioned to take advantage of it, or, controversially, could see even bigger rewards by staying put and advancing internally. So, where do you stand? Is job hugging a wise strategy in a tough market? Or is it holding employees back from reaching their full potential? Should workers focus on growth where they are, or is it better to always keep an eye open for greener pastures? Sound off in the comments. Where do you draw the line between job security and career stagnation? Your thoughts could help others make better decisions as the job market continues to shift.